Imagine this with me. You wake up on a crisp, sunny morning. The birds are chirping outside, and a soft light spills through the curtains. You stretch in bed and take a deep breath. There's a quiet joy in the air. Maybe you're thinking, another day, another blessing. And here's a little secret. If you're between the ages of 65 and 80 and can still do 8 simple things, 8 abilities we'll talk about in this video, you're not just aging well, you're aging exceptionally. In fact, you may be doing far better than you realize, and even increasing your chances of living a longer, more independent life. You see, when it comes to longevity, it's not just about good genes or good luck. It's about small, everyday abilities that tell a powerful story about your body, your mind, and your spirit. Yet too many people assume that getting older means automatically losing strength, balance, and clarity. But let me tell you, this is far from the whole truth. Over the years, I've met countless vibrant people in their 70s, 80s, and beyond. People who move with ease, think sharply, and live with joy. What's their secret? Often, it's that they've preserved certain key abilities that most people around them begin to lose. And these abilities are some of the best indicators we have of how well and how long you will live. So in today's video, we'll explore 8 key signs of exceptional aging. Some may surprise you, some may inspire you to try something new, and one in particular, at the end of this list, is something most people overlook. Yet it may be the most important of all. So I encourage you, stay with me until the very end. Your future self will thank you. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to our channel. Vibrant Elders. We're a warm, growing community of curious, kind people, just like you, who believe in living fully and joyfully at every age. Now, let's begin. Sign 1. You can stand up from a chair without using your hands. Now, this might sound simple, really? That's it? But trust me, this small action speaks volumes about your health. Think of it like this. Standing up from a chair without using your hands is one of the clearest signals that your lower body strength, balance, and core coordination are still working well together. And that is no small thing. You see, as we age, one of the first areas where we lose strength is in the legs. Sitting more and moving less gradually weakens the powerful muscles that help us stay upright and steady. Without realizing it, many older adults begin pushing off with their hands to stand. It feels like a harmless adjustment, but in reality, it's a red flag, because when your leg strength declines, your risk of falling increases dramatically. And as you may know, falls are the leading cause of injury-related hospital visits for older adults in the United States. I'd like to share a story about my neighbor, Harold. Harold is 77, a retired engineer. He's sharp as a tack, with a great sense of humor and a love of crossword puzzles. One evening a few months ago, Harold noticed something odd. After finishing an episode of his favorite detective show, he went to stand up and instinctively pushed off with his hands. It surprised him. He'd never had to do that before. The next day, he caught himself doing it again. At his next doctor's visit, he mentioned it in passing. His doctor explained that this was an early sign of declining leg strength, and that it could put Harold at greater risk of falls if left unaddressed. But Harold didn't panic. He took action. He began adding simple exercises to his daily routine, things he could do right at home. He started with seated leg lifts, straightening each leg out and holding it for a few seconds while sitting. Then he added standing heel raises, lifting up onto the balls of his feet to strengthen his calves. And when he felt ready, he introduced gentle bodyweight squats, lowering himself as if to sit, then standing back up, all without using his hands. It didn't take long. Within about 2 months, Harold found himself standing up from chairs with ease again, no hands required. And the best part? He felt stronger, steadier, and more confident, not just when standing up, but throughout his day. Now, here's the good news. Leg strength can be rebuilt at any age. The human body is wonderfully adaptable, and with small, consistent effort, you can maintain, or even regain, strength that supports your independence and vitality. So, the next time you stand up from a chair, take notice. Do you instinctively reach for the armrests? Or do you rise smoothly, powered by your legs and core? If you can still do this easily, you are aging better than most. Truly. And if you find it challenging, don't be discouraged. It simply means there's an opportunity, an invitation, to strengthen your body and reclaim this ability. Start small, stay consistent, your future self will thank you. Because standing up from a chair isn't just a simple movement. It's a signal, a signpost that tells you, and those who care about you, that your body is aging with strength and resilience. And that is something to be celebrated. Now, are you ready to explore the next sign? It's one that many people overlook, yet it can reveal so much about your heart, lungs, and vitality. Stay with me, my friend. We're just getting started. Now, let's move on to the second powerful sign of exceptional aging. You can walk at a brisk pace without feeling out of breath. It might sound simple, but walking speed is one of the strongest indicators of long life and good health. Why? Because when you walk briskly and comfortably, it means that several key systems in your body are working well together. Your heart is strong enough to pump blood efficiently. Your lungs are delivering oxygen where it's needed. Your leg muscles are providing steady support. And your nervous system is coordinating movement smoothly. In fact, many studies, including large ones from American universities, show that walking speed predicts life expectancy even better than some medical tests. Let me tell you about William, a 74-year-old retired postman from Illinois. William loved taking daily walks, but over time, he noticed that he was slowing down. He had to stop often to catch his breath. Even on short routes he used to breeze through. At first, he thought, well, this must be aging. But after a heart checkup, his doctor encouraged him not to accept this decline so easily. The doctor explained that by gradually improving his walking pace, William could not only regain stamina but also strengthen his heart and lungs. So William began timing himself on his walks, starting slow, then picking up speed week by week. And the results were remarkable. Within a couple of months, he was walking faster, breathing easier, and feeling more energetic overall. But there's another surprising benefit to walking briskly. It sharpens your mind. Studies show that people who walk faster tend to have better memory, sharper thinking, and even lower risk of dementia. That's because walking stimulates blood flow to the brain, and an active body supports an active mind. So here's a simple test for you. Next time you go for a walk, try this. First, walk at your normal pace for 10 feet. Then imagine you're trying to catch an elevator before it closes, and pick up the pace. If you can do this comfortably without gasping for air, that's a wonderful sign. And if it feels challenging, that's okay. Like any muscle, endurance can be trained. Start by adding a few short brisk walks into your week. Over time, your speed, stamina, and confidence will all improve. Remember, every step you take toward building endurance is a step toward a longer, healthier, more independent life. Now, let's talk about the third powerful sign of exceptional aging. You can balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds. It might seem like a simple thing, but don't underestimate it. If you can do this, you're not just steady, you're keeping multiple critical systems in your body sharp and working together beautifully. You see, balance is a complex skill. It depends on your muscles, joints, nerves, inner ear, eyes, and brain all communicating and responding in real time. When one system weakens, whether it's your core muscles, leg strength, vision, or vestibular system, balance is one of the first things to decline. And here's why that matters. Poor balance is one of the biggest predictors of falls, which are the #1 cause of injury-related hospital visits for older adults in the US. But here's the good news. Balance, like strength, can be trained and improved at any age. Let me share a story about Helen, a wonderful woman in her late 70s who lives here in Oregon. Helen loved gardening and going on short walks with her friends. But one morning, as she was getting dressed, she tried to balance on one foot to put on her shoe, and couldn't hold it for more than 4 seconds. She wobbled, nearly grabbed for the dresser, and it shook her confidence. That small moment made Helen realize something. If her balance was slipping, she needed to act before it became a serious problem. So Helen started doing simple daily exercises. Standing on one foot while brushing her teeth, heel to toe walking down her hallway. Slow, controlled weight shifts from one leg to the other. She didn't join a gym. She didn't buy fancy equipment. Just small, Mindful movements added into her day. After about a month, Helen tested herself again, and this time, she held her balance for 12 seconds with ease. But more importantly, she told me she felt more confident and stable in her daily life, whether stepping off a curb, reaching for something, or walking across uneven ground. Here's a simple way you can test your balance right now. Stand near a countertop, lift one foot about an inch off the floor, start a timer, or count slowly to 10 in your head. Can you hold steady without grabbing for support? If so, wonderful, you are maintaining excellent balance. If not, don't worry. Like Helen, you can improve this skill with practice, and doing so will help protect your mobility, independence, and quality of life. Because when you move with confidence, life feels bigger and so much more joyful. Now let's talk about one of the most practical and underrated signs of healthy aging. You can get down on the floor and back up again, without help. It might sound basic, but this ability is about so much more than flexibility or strength. Being able to move down to the floor and rise again shows that your legs, core, joints, balance, and coordination are all working well together. And here's the deeper truth. People who lose this ability often start avoiding movements that require them to get low, whether it's picking something up, playing with grandkids, or doing activities like gardening. But here's the risk. When you stop using a movement, your body forgets it over time. Muscles weaken, confidence shrinks, mobility declines. Let me share a story about Joseph, a 78-year-old grandfather from Ohio. Joseph used to be very active. He loved hiking and playing with his grandchildren. But one day, his youngest grandson asked, "Grandpa, can you come sit on the floor with me and play blocks?" Joseph hesitated, not because he didn't want to, but because deep down, he wasn't sure if he could get back up easily. That moment stuck with him. Later that week, Joseph decided to test himself at home. He tried lowering to the floor slowly and realized it was harder than he expected. Coming back up felt awkward and challenging. But instead of giving in, Joseph took it as a call to action. He started practicing safe movements, slow kneeling down with one knee at a time, doing light squats to rebuild leg and core strength, learning techniques to rise from the floor without pulling on furniture. Within a few weeks, Joseph noticed real progress, and the next time his grandson asked to play on the floor, he joined without hesitation and stood back up smoothly. That moment wasn't just about playing, it was about regaining freedom. Here's the truth. Being able to get up from the floor is one of the clearest signs of long-term independence. If you ever experience a fall, or need to retrieve something from the floor, this skill could make all the difference between needing help or confidently helping yourself. So here's a simple test. Stand near a stable surface. Slowly lower yourself to the floor, pause, then see if you can rise back up without pulling on your hands or furniture for support. If you can, fantastic. You're maintaining mobility and strength that many lose. If it feels challenging, that's okay. Like Joseph, you can improve this ability through gentle daily practice. Remember, your freedom to move is one of your greatest gifts. Protect it, train it, celebrate it, because when your body can move fully, your life remains full of possibilities. Now let's move on to another very practical sign of healthy aging. You can carry a grocery bag without struggling. This might not sound glamorous, but it's one of the clearest indicators of whether your body is staying strong where it really counts in everyday life. You see, strength isn't just about lifting weights at the gym. It's about whether you can comfortably handle the small but essential tasks that make up your day. Bringing in groceries from the car, carrying a bag of pet food, lifting a basket of laundry, moving a small box. When you can do these things easily, it tells us your arms, shoulders, core, grip strength, and back are all functioning well. And there's something even more interesting. Grip strength alone has been shown in research to be one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Studies from universities like Tufts and Harvard have shown that older adults with stronger grip strength tend to live longer, stay more independent, and even experience fewer hospitalizations. Let me tell you about Richard, a 75-year-old retired mechanic from Michigan. Richard had always prided himself on being the kind of guy who carried all the grocery bags in one trip, no matter how full they were. But one afternoon, after returning from the store, he noticed something troubling. The bags felt heavier, not because they were packed differently, but because his arms and hands were noticeably weaker. He had to stop halfway to rest, a first for him. At first, Richard thought, well, maybe this is just what happens as you get older. But after a conversation with a neighbor, who was also working on improving strength, Richard decided to make some changes. He began adding simple strength exercises to his mornings. Light shoulder presses with soup cans, bicep curls with small hand weights, squeezing a rubber ball several times a day to rebuild grip strength. It didn't take long. Within a couple of months, Richard noticed a big difference. Carrying groceries felt easy again, and he even felt stronger doing other tasks around the house. Most importantly, Richard said he felt more like himself again, capable, independent, and confident, and that's what this is really about. When your body can handle everyday loads with ease, life feels lighter, physically and emotionally. So here's a simple check. Think back to the last time you carried groceries. Were you able to do it comfortably? Or did you need to stop and rest? If you're doing it with ease, you're maintaining wonderful real-world strength. If it feels harder than it used to, that's your body giving you a little nudge to start building it back. And the great news is, you don't need a fancy gym or big weights. Just small, consistent movements, practiced daily, can restore the strength that supports your independence. Because when your body is ready for whatever life hands you, you're not just strong, you're resilient. Now, let's talk about another sign of vibrant aging, one that gives us a quick window into your heart, lungs, and muscles all at once. You can climb a flight of stairs without stopping to rest. You might not think about it much, but climbing stairs is one of the most demanding everyday activities for the human body. Why? Because it requires multiple systems to work in harmony. Your heart must pump blood strongly and steadily. Your lungs must deliver enough oxygen with each breath. Your legs must generate power and maintain balance. Your core must stabilize your body as you ascend. When one of these systems starts to weaken, you'll feel it fast, typically as shortness of breath, fatigue, or shaky legs. Now here's the thing. Avoiding stairs can accelerate decline. Many older adults begin to take the elevator more often or avoid multi-story buildings altogether. It feels safer, but the less you challenge your body, the faster strength and stamina fade. Let me share a story about George, a 73-year-old retired teacher from Virginia. George had always used the stairs at his local community center. But one day, after just one flight, he found himself out of breath and needing to stop halfway. At first, he blamed it on a bad night's sleep. But when the same thing happened again the next week, he knew it was time to act. Instead of giving up and taking the elevator, George talked to his doctor and started a simple fitness plan. Walking daily to build cardiovascular endurance. Leg strengthening exercises like step-ups and bodyweight squats. Gradually adding stairs back into his routine, one flight at a time. And guess what? Within about 6 weeks, George was back to climbing stairs without stopping, more comfortably than he had in years. But the benefits didn't stop there. George told me he felt stronger on his walks, had more energy throughout the day, and even slept better at night. That's because stair climbing is a powerful signal of overall vitality. If you can climb stairs smoothly, it means your cardiovascular and muscular systems are in good shape, and your body is well prepared to handle life's physical demands. So here's a simple reflection. When was the last time you used the stairs? Did you climb steadily, or did you need to pause? If you can take a flight of stairs without stopping, that's a wonderful sign of functional fitness. If not, don't worry. Like George, you can rebuild this ability through gentle, progressive training. Because the more you move, the more you maintain not just physical strength, but the confidence and freedom that allow you to fully enjoy life. Now let's talk about a sign of vibrant aging that may be more important than any physical test. You can remember recent conversations and events clearly. Your memory is a window into how well your brain is aging, and it tells us far more than people often realize. If you're between 65 and 80 and you can still recall what you had for dinner last night, who you spoke with yesterday, and what appointments you have this week, your cognitive health is in a great place. You see, memory isn't just about pulling up old facts. It's about how well your brain and nervous system are functioning right now. When your memory stays sharp, it shows that Blood flow to your brain is healthy. Neurons are firing and connecting well. Your brain's chemical systems are in good balance. But here's the thing, memory, like muscle strength, is use it or lose it. Many people assume that memory decline is inevitable as we age. But research shows that staying mentally active and socially engaged can help preserve cognitive abilities well into our 80s and beyond. Let me tell you about Paul, a 79-year-old former school principal from Colorado. Paul is one of the sharpest people I know. He can still recall students from decades ago and remember details from recent town meetings. His secret? He challenges his brain every day. Paul reads the newspaper each morning, discusses current events with friends, and works crossword puzzles regularly. He also volunteers at the local library, where he teaches basic computer classes to seniors, helping both his students and his own brain stay engaged. But here's something even more important. Paul stays socially connected. Studies show that people with strong social networks and frequent conversations maintain better memory than those who become isolated. That's because conversation exercises your brain in real time. You must recall names, respond to questions, and adapt to new topics. So if you're still remembering names, dates, and conversations with ease, you're not just keeping up, you're thriving cognitively. And if you've noticed some memory slips, don't panic. Here are a few simple ways to help your brain stay sharp. Read something new every day. Play word games or puzzles. Stay socially connected, phone calls, visits, group activities. Go for regular walks. Physical activity boosts blood flow to the brain. Because here's the wonderful truth. Your brain remains remarkably adaptable, even in later life. Every new thing you learn, every conversation you enjoy, every puzzle you solve, helps build what scientists call cognitive reserve, extra mental strength that protects your memory for years to come. So the next time you remember a conversation clearly or recall someone's name with ease, celebrate it. It's a beautiful sign that your mind is staying sharp and your life is staying rich with connection and meaning. Now, let's talk about the final sign of vibrant aging, one that quietly speaks volumes about your overall well-being. You wake up feeling rested and ready for the day. It might sound simple, but don't underestimate it. How you feel when you wake up in the morning can reveal more about your health than you think. When you wake feeling refreshed, alert, and ready to go, it tells us that your body is getting enough deep, restorative sleep. Your brain is going through its natural repair cycles overnight. Your heart and lungs are working efficiently even at rest. Your hormonal systems are in healthy balance. In other words, your body is healing and renewing itself each night, as it should. Now, here's an important truth. As we age, good sleep becomes harder to maintain. Many older adults struggle with difficulty falling asleep, waking frequently during the night, waking too early and feeling tired. But when you still wake up feeling good, it's a wonderful sign that your overall systems are aging well. Let me tell you about Roger, a 74-year-old retired accountant from Arizona. A couple of years ago, Roger started noticing that he was waking up groggy. Even after spending 8 hours in bed, he'd feel sluggish all morning, reaching for coffee after coffee just to stay alert. After talking with his doctor, Roger realized that while he was spending time in bed, he wasn't getting quality sleep. So Roger made a few key changes. He started going to bed at the same time each night, even on weekends. He cut back on caffeine in the afternoon. He stopped using screens, TV, phone, tablet, an hour before bedtime. He added a short, calming routine, reading and gentle stretching before sleep. Within a few weeks, Roger noticed a huge difference. He began waking up naturally, feeling rested, clear-headed, and energized for the day. That's what quality sleep does. It restores your body and sharpens your mind. And here's the bonus. People who sleep well in later life tend to enjoy better heart health, stronger immune systems, improved memory, more stable moods, longer life expectancy. So, here's a gentle question for you. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? If you wake feeling rested and ready for your day, fantastic. That's a beautiful sign that your body is still renewing itself effectively each night. And if not, don't worry. Like Roger, you can take simple steps to improve your sleep quality. Because when you greet each day with energy, life becomes fuller, and you're better equipped to enjoy all the moments that matter most. Now, my dear friend, before we say goodbye for today, let's take a quiet moment together. We've just explored 8 small but powerful signs of healthy aging. And if you're here watching this, I want you to know something very important: the fact that you're taking time to learn, to reflect, to care for your body and mind, already puts you ahead of the curve. Because vibrant aging isn't about being perfect. It's not about turning back the clock. It's about showing up each day with intention and self-respect. It's about nurturing the wonderful life you've built, step by step, breath by breath, choice by choice. And here's the most beautiful truth of all: at any age, your body and mind remain full of potential. You can strengthen what feels weak, you can sharpen what feels dull, you can regain confidence where fear once crept in. I've seen it time and again, in neighbors, in family members, in dear friends. Let me share one last story with you, one very close to my heart. My Aunt Margaret, now 83, has always been a source of quiet wisdom in our family. But a few years ago, after a fall, she began doubting herself. She avoided stairs. She stopped going to her beloved gardening club. Conversations felt harder as her confidence wavered. One day, over a cup of tea, I gently reminded her of something. Your body remembers strength. Your mind remembers clarity. All it needs is an invitation to come back. Together, we created tiny steps, morning stretches, short walks, puzzles and reading, simple balance practice. Little by little, her spark returned. Last summer, she climbed the community garden stairs with her friends, laughing and vibrant once again. And that, my friend, is what I wish for you. Not perfection, not some impossible goal, but steady, joyful progress, guided by love for this body and life of yours. So now I invite you to reflect quietly. Which of these abilities spoke to you most? Which ones do you want to strengthen this year? What's one small step you can begin tomorrow? Remember, it is never too late. Our bodies are resilient, our brains are adaptable, our spirits are stronger than we know. And every positive choice you make, each walk, each stretch, each moment of laughter and connection, becomes a powerful investment in your future freedom and vitality. Now, before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Please share in the comments. What is one thing you learned today? What is one habit or skill you feel inspired to work on? Your words may just encourage someone else in our wonderful Vibrant Elders community to take action too. And if you found today's conversation helpful, I warmly invite you to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with a friend or loved one. Together, we can build a world where growing older is not about decline, but about continued strength, clarity, and joy. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Until we meet again, move with confidence, live with curiosity, and know that you are supported and celebrated here. Stay vibrant, my friend. I'll see you in the next video.